Jim Gehring here from Brown Tool Auctions with 3 examples of patented gravity inclinometers. Now the difference between a level and an inclinometer is a level basically just tells you whether a particular surface is level or plumb or not, whereas an inclinometer tells you the exact angle of the surface. Although there are a lot of inclinometers that use, traditional spirit bubbles to measure the angle of the surface. There's also a class of instruments that have come to be known as gravity inclinometers. Kind of a misleading term since all levels use gravity as their powering force. But what this means in this context is a gravity inclinometer is one that has some kind of a hanging pendulum or indicator needle, which you then read against a dial in order to tell you what the angle of the surface is. There were a lot of these things patented and manufactured back in the 19th century, early 20th century. Almost none of them were successes. There are a couple that you find a fair number of examples of, but most of them are very uncommon. I've got 3 nice examples here, all from the same collection, all in very nice condition. The oldest one was patented by a guy named Alvan Ewing down in Tennessee in the 1880s, and it's got the hanging pointer, which you read against here, against this scale on the surface as a level. But the other neat thing about it is you've also got this little hole here where if you turn it on its side, the same pointer can be seen there, although not very clearly, so that you can also use it as a plumb. So these are quite uncommon. The next one is probably the most common of the 3, but it's one of my personal favorites because it's so gimmicky, and that's what's usually referred to as a Pittsburgh Novelty level, because they were manufactured by a company called the Pittsburgh Novelty Company, not Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but way out in Kansas, Pittsburgh, Kansas. What's so neat about these is you've got this kind of casket thing here, which folds down flat with a stock when you're carrying around so it doesn't get hurt. And you get to your job site, you fold it up like that, and there's a little hanging pendulum in there. And then you can you set it at the exact angle that when you get the pendulum straight, then you can read the angle of the surface off of this little dial here. Like I said, these are not super rare. There's actually a fair number around, but they're just so neat that they're very popular with level fanatics like me. And finally, we've got an example of the Leshner Patent protractor level. This is also pretty uncommon. It was patented by a guy named Frederick Leshner in Pennsylvania in the 1920s. As you can see, it's got your basic hanging indicator here to measure the level. It's also got an abundance of vials as well. You've got a regular level and plumb vials here, but it's also, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there are 4 level vials glued in this central compartment as well. So we've got plenty of vials. These are frequently have come loose on examples that I've seen, or they're broken over the years. But these are all nice and original, solidly glued in place. What's really interesting about this particular model is that you can use it, as a regular full-length level, or you can pop this little central compartment out like that. It's held in place by a couple little springs. And now you've got a little miniature level, which you can then carry around and set on different surfaces. So, and then you just, when you're ready, you just pop it right back into place like that. And it's held in place by little, as I said, little springs. So 3 pretty uncommon examples of gravity inclinometers, all in really nice condition, all from the same collection. And all very exciting to level freaks like me.